Dark Shadows, number 41, VTR 8866, air 82266, take one.
My name is Victoria Winters. This great house called Collinwood is the only home I've ever known. And yet I've known it such a short time. A short time that terror has made ageless. And friend has turned against friend.
Hello.
Are you alone?
I'm alone. Except for the devils in my brain.
What kind of an answer is that? Bill Malloy left. Evans, are you still there? Can you hear me? Has Malloy gone?
Yeah, he's gone. If you want him, you'll probably have to get him at the office.
I don't want him, you fool. I want to know what happened between you.
Nothing happened. Why should anything happen? We merely had a few friendly drinks. Is there anything wrong in that?
It's all the harm in the world. I know how whiskey can loosen your tongue. Probably blabbed everything you knew, didn't you? Isn't that what happened?
Well, to be quite honest, I don't know what happened. I wasn't feeling well, and I guess I didn't pay too much attention to what Malloy was saying.
You mean you were too drunk? You couldn't remember? Let me tell you something, Evans. Just because you wrote a letter telling everything you know, or think you know, don't for a second imagine you're clear of everything. You're as involved as I am. Well, answer me. Evans, are you there? I haven't finished with you yet. Evans, I know we're still connected, so don't try any of your drunken tricks on me. Oh. I was just trying to get the office on the phone.
Isn't that where you should be?
Well, if you must know, I had a perfectly valid reason for being home. I prevented your daughter from meeting Burke Devlin.
Carolyn. Why would she be meeting Burke?
Well, that, of course, is open to the wildest speculation.
Oh, don't be silly, Roger. How did you prevent the meeting?
Well, she left her ring at the restaurant and Burke found it, and she had every intention of going back to get it from him. When you were a girl, didn't you accidentally on purpose leave something behind as an excuse for returning?
Do you think she's really interested in this man?
She's your daughter, my dear, and your problem. I have my own problems with my son.
Well, at least your problems with David won't be financial ones.
Oh, I see. Now we're going to discuss what happened to my inheritance. Well, if you must know, I spent it. But I had fun with my money, Liz. I enjoyed it. Can you say the same?
No, I can't. The difference is that I still have some. I had enough money to buy up the shares in the company, which that you offered to the general public for sale.
Well, they were my shares. I could sell them if I wanted to.
If an outsider had bought those shares, controlling interest in the Collins enterprises would have gone out of the family entirely. I couldn't allow that to happen.
Did it ever occur to you that you could have left this mausoleum, my dear sister, and gone out into the outside world?
My place is here.
I know. 18 years of self-imposed imprisonment. And for what? Surely a departed husband isn't worth waiting for.
Why do you say departed?
Well, he departed from this lovely house on Widow's Hill, didn't he?
I have no intention of discussing Paul with you. Why didn't you tell me about Ned Calder's telephone call last night?
Oh, well, I forgot. If it was anything important, he'll call back.
It was very important. He was returning my call.
What did you call him about?
I wanted his advice.
Well, don't tell me you're bringing him down here to manage the plant.
I wouldn't worry about Ned Calder. You're the person I should worry about if I were you.
Hi, Pop.
Maggie's at work. Who are you?
Maggie was at work, but she forgot her shopping list and decided to come home and get it.
What?
Okay?
Why didn't you phone?
Well, I did. Mysteriously enough, there was no answer.
Oh, yeah. I heard the telephone ringing. No. I was busy.
Doing what? Crossword puzzles?
Well, I started a sketch, but I didn't like it.
That's Burke. Pop, you caught him just right. Why did you want to destroy it?
I had to. I wanted to destroy it before it destroyed me. Maggie, I tried to run away once. Why did you stop me? Why didn't you let me run away when I had a chance?
Don't worry, Pop. We'll lick him yet. There's that shopping list. I can't imagine I walked off and forgot it.
I can. Gave you a chance to come home and see if I was all right.
Well, now that I can see you're all right, I'd better get back to work. Right? Pop, is there anything you want? Anything I can get you?
What a question. Is there anything that I want?
Well, do you want to talk about it? Maybe I can help.
Nobody can help.
Well, how about if I make you a hot cup of coffee?
No. Why is it that all women think that a cup of coffee is a cure-all?
Oh, Pop, you'd be surprised how many of the solid, upright citizens of Cullensport come into my restaurant in need of a hot cup of black coffee. Hey, maybe I should go into the blackmail business.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Oh, what is it, Pop? Come on. Get it off your chest.
It's nothing. I tried to do a portrait of Burke, and I don't know, it just didn't work out. It's been a long time since I've done one, and I just want to know if I'd lost my touch.
I don't think so. I don't think that's it, Pop. I think it's the man himself.
Burke? We were always good friends. Why should that make any difference?
He's different, Pop. And somehow his coming back home has made everybody else different.
I wish he'd never come back.
And it is Burke that's bothering you.
No one's bothering me, but myself. When I've had too many drinks, I talk too much.
Well, from the looks of this bottle, Pop, you must have recited everything you ever knew.
I hope not.
Who were you doing all this talking to, Pop? Was it Burke?
No, it wasn't Burke. I like Burke. I like him very much. I hope that he likes me. I would hate anyone that did him an injustice.
Are you talking about what happened 10 years ago? The accident? Then it must be Roger Collins, you mean?
Maggie, you don't know anything at all about it. Now just let it alone. Just let it alone!
Hello?
Hello, this is Maggie Evans.
Oh, Maggie, this is Vicky.
Hi. Listen, Vicky, is Roger Collins there? I have to speak to him.
Have you tried his office? He's usually there this time of day.
He isn't there. Have you any idea where he is, Vicky? It's important.
I'm afraid Mr. Collins doesn't confide in me.
Miss Winters,
I'm sorry.
is there any reason why I should confide in you?
It's for you.
Well, if it's the office, tell them I'm on my way.
It's Maggie Evans.
Maggie Evans? For me?
She says it's important. Why did you hang up without even talking to her?
My dear Miss Winters, I'm late for the office as it is, and I have nothing to say to Maggie Evans.
But if you told me, I could have said that you were busy.
Are you presuming again to teach me my manners?
Of course not.
Because if you are, you're wasting your talents on the wrong person. I was under the impression that you were here to tutor my son, not me.
Roger, have you any idea where Carolyn might be?
Not the faintest.
When you're in town, would you look around for her?
And neglect my vital task at the office? Oh, dear me, no.
Did the phone ring?
Just a little while ago, it was for Mr. Collins.
Oh, I'd hoped to hear from Carolyn.
Well, she called me earlier and told me that she might not be in for dinner.
Oh, I wish I'd talked to her myself.
Well, she didn't want to disturb you. She told me to tell you that.
Perhaps she had a date with Joe Haskell.
Of course, that must be it. He seems like a very nice boy.
I think so, too. But I can't help wondering if Carolyn might not be looking for a very clever man.
If you think she's serious about Mr. Devlin, I wouldn't worry. She hardly knows him.
Perhaps that's what intrigues her. I'm sure she planned to meet him later this afternoon. Fortunately, my brother was able to stop her.
If Carolyn planned to meet him, I don't think anyone could stop her. Well, if you'll excuse me, I think I'd better get back to David.
Joe Haskell, please. Oh, Joe, this is Mrs. Stoddard.
Oh, Mrs. Stoddard. Listen, I meant to call you. Well, to apologize.
There's no need to, Joe.
I'm sorry I made such a fool of myself.
Oh, that isn't what I called about. I assume you're seeing Carolyn tonight.
To tell the truth, I haven't even talked to her. I'm afraid she might be a little sore at me.
Then you didn't plan on having dinner with her?
No, at least I don't think so. I'm not too sure about anything that happened last night. Maybe I do have a date with her.
I hope so. Joe, is Mr. Malloy there?
No, he's not, Mrs. Stoddard. I don't know where he is. He hasn't been in all day.
When you have a chance, will you come by to see me? I'd like to talk to you.
Sure, Mrs. Stoddard. Bye.
Oh, what are you trying to prove, Pop?
Why aren't you at work?
I'm just leaving. I was writing you a note. I thought maybe you could sleep.
Leave it off, you mean? It's not as easy as that.
What is it?
It needn't concern you.
Oh, Pop, that's the silliest thing I ever heard you say. Don't you know that anything that bothers you is a concern of mine?
Let's just say there's nothing you can do about it.
I know that. I even tried to call Roger Collins.
You did what?
Well, I just wanted to find out what's been bothering you.
You called Roger Collins.
Yes. Don't get into such an uproar, Pop. He wouldn't even talk to me.
Of course he wouldn't. Why should he? Didn't I ask you to stay out of this? Didn't I tell you that it was none of your business? You and your infernal prying are likely to be the death of me yet.
Pop.
And I'm saying that literally. For all I know, you may have signed my death warrant.
Pop.
Don't argue with me.
I'm not.
Go back to your job in your fancy restaurant and just leave me in peace.
Pop, I can't leave
You do as I say, or so help me.
Pop. Okay. Okay, and I'm going. Just settle down. Don't aggravate yourself. Remember, you're all I have.
Open up, Evans! I know you're in there. Open up!
Who is it?
Roger Collins.
What do you want?
I want to talk to you. Don't be an idiot. Open the door. Is your phone in working order?
You didn't come banging on my door to ask about my phone, did you?
No, but when I was talking to you earlier, we were somehow disconnected, and when I tried to call you back, there was no answer. Naturally, I assumed that your phone was out of order. You've had enough of that. I want you to tell me exactly what you told Bill Malloy last night.
I told you I don't recall telling him anything.
Did you speak to anyone else?
You don't think much of me, do you?
No.
Well, what we think of one another is infinitely less than we deserve. Now, you got me into this.
No, I didn't. Your greed did. And since you are in it, you've got to stay in it.
Well, then what are we going to do about, why has Malloy been pumping me?
The question is not why he was asking information, but whether or not you gave him any.
Oh, I'm sure I told him nothing.
What did you tell your daughter?
Maggie? Nothing.
Then why did she call me at my house?
Oh, I don't know.
You know that she did call me.
Yes. She was just here. She said she tried to talk to you, but you wouldn't talk to her on the phone.
Why should I? Unless she has information to give or to sell.
She doesn't know anything. Anything to say against you, she thought you might be able to tell her why I was so upset, that's all.
And she's more naive than she looks.
I threatened her. Do you hear what I said? I almost raised my hand to her.
I think it might have been an excellent idea if you did.
I never thought I could hate a man as much as I do you.
The feeling is entirely mutual. What a pity that neither of us can do anything about it. Just remember one thing. I have no intention of letting your weakness carry me down.
You just said there was nothing we can do about it.
Perhaps I'll think of something.
Perhaps I will, too.
Operator, will you ask if there's any other number I might reach Mr. Calder? Very well, try him there. Oh, never mind. I'll put in the call later.
I didn't know you were on the telephone.
That was nothing important.
I'm going into Collinsport. I wondered if there was anything you needed.
I don't think so. How do you plan to get there?
Walk. The exercise will do me good. I don't see why you don't get out more. I'm sorry.
You needn't apologize. Of course, it must seem odd that I haven't been off the grounds in all these years. I'm sure you wonder why.
I think that's your affair.
Yes, it is. Will you be home for dinner?
Oh, yes.
Well, if you run into Carolyn, ask her to call me.
I will. I'll see you later.
Operator, this is Mrs. Stoddard. I want to put in a person-to-person call to Mr. Ned Calder in Portland. The number is 311-500-098. If Mr. Calder isn't there, I'd like to talk to his secretary. Thank you. Oh, hello, this is Mrs. Elizabeth Collins Stoddard in Collinsport. Do you know if Mr. Calder is planning to come to see me? I see. Is there no way you can reach him? Oh, very well. When you hear from him, ask him to call me. He has my number. Tell him it is most important. Thank you.
Stay tuned for Where the Action Is next on ABC. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.